God's wonderful design, the human cell. Did you know?
There is 50 trillion cells in your body. The cell that we will be doing is the plasma membrane. It's the outer part of the cell in the purple here on the computer. The plasma membrane is the outer part of the cell. It's a thin layer of tissue that consists of most of liquid. The plasma membrane structure helps keep the cell together. The basic function of the cell membrane is to protect the cell and to let different molecules and proteins and carrier proteins out, and then just certain ones. Yeah, just certain ones. Yeah, and then there's the cytoskeleton. It's what keeps the cell together. It's like all these little, you can't really see those thin lines. It's made of 3 different filaments. It's those microfilaments and microtubes. It's my favorite. And the intermediate filaments. So that helps maintain the cell structure and shape, like, yeah, it keeps it together, kind of. And then there's the cytoplasm. I can't say it very well. It's a gel-like solution that fills each cell, and it's mostly made out of water, salts, and proteins. All the cell's parts float in the cytoplasm, and it also helps the cell's parts to keep in place. So the organelles, or the nucleus, the endoreticulum, and mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, yeah, whatever, are located in that. Yeah. And then the organelles. The organelles. Every cell has organelles. Each organelle provides in its own way to help the cell. The nucleus, mitochondria, and the chloroplast, Golgi apparatus, are all organelles. So mostly everything in the cell is organelles. But some of them aren't. No. And then there are the spindle fibers. These are in the mitosis stage of the cell. When the cell is becoming 2 cells, it divides the chromosomes. So these spindle fibers help divide the chromosomes in the cell division during the mitosis stage. And then there's the cilia. It's like, yeah, it's on the outer part of the cell. It's like little short hair-thinny structures, and they're longer than the microvilla. Yeah, they're longer than the microvilli, and it's not on all cells. It's just like on some cells, but I think it's very few. It helps the cells move, or they're usually in the air tubes of your lungs, so that when you have lots of mucus, it helps, like, bring it up. Yeah. And then the flagellum. The word flagellum in Latin means whip, and the phloem allows the cell to move around. So it's kind of actually, the flagellum is a long tail of a sperm cell, which helps the cell move closer to an egg cell, which would create a baby. Then there's the microvilla. The microvilla is the smaller part. You know, the cilia is kind of bigger, and the microvilla is kind of really, really small. It's like on some cells, and those are usually in your gut to help your gut. Yeah, they're on the surface of the cell membrane. Yeah, it's on the surface. Yeah. It's like the cilia. And then there's the ribosome. And the ribosome is inside the cell, and that is a combination of proteins with information from the DNA. In the ribosome, where's the ribosome? The ribosomes are right there. Oh, right, yeah, right there. It's little things. They're usually located on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And then the rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes on it, what makes it rough, so it looks really rough. And it also transports proteins, and then, yeah, the proteins that are synthesized by the ribosomes collect in the ER for transport. And then the smooth ER it's smooth because there are no ribosomes, so it looks smooth. And it breaks down lipid-soluble toxins in the liver cells and can control calcium release in the muscle cell and all other and cholesterol. And into steroids. It turns cholesterol into steroids, and it also transports proteins from the ER to the Golgi apparatus. And the smooth has no ribosomes. I said that. Ribosomes. So the Golgi apparatus is located right here. It's the green part thingy right here. And it stores and packages, transports, and delivers proteins in the cell or to the cell membrane. And then there's the secretory vesicle. It's like when the proteins go through the Golgi apparatus, when it comes out, a little part of the Golgi apparatus pinches off the protein, and that's called the secretory vesicle. And it gets transported to the surface of the cell so that it can release out to the cell out of the cell membrane. It goes to one of those little things. So it goes from ER, the rough ER, to the apparatus, then to either inside the cell or outside. There's kind of like a vesicle thing too that takes it from the ER to the Golgi apparatus, and then it goes through the Golgi apparatus, and then it gets Then there's the lysosomes. Lysosomes are little enzymes. They're filled balls. The balls are kind of like balls that eat up the good and bad stuff. So it kind of like eats up anything. So it's kind of like the stomach of the cell. It digests. Yeah. It helps make nutrition too. Then there are the mitochondria. And the mitochondria, no, I'm doing the mitochondria, are right here. And the mitochondria is kind of like the energy house for the cell. The energy is called ATP. Each cell has mitochondria, which produces a chemical energy responsive of the cell's need. Also, did you know that the mitochondria is replicating, that's right, yeah. And they contain their own DNA, RNA, transfer RNA, and ribosomes. So it's kind of like the cell's power plant. And then there's the nucleus. The nucleus contains the DNA and controls everything within the cell. So it's kind of like, I drew a picture of it. It's kind of like the computer. It kind of like does everything. It's just kind of really cool. Okay. And then there's around that the nuclear envelope. It's the double membrane. Yeah. It's just around the nucleus. It's like the kind of like purple. Yeah, it's just right here. It's that purple. It's kind of double. And then there's the chromation. This is a substance of the cell which contains the DNA and RNA and the various proteins and forms the chromosomes during the cell division. So it's during the mitosis stage. Then there's the chromosomes. Oh, the chromosomes. I do chromosomes. They're like thread-like strands of the nucleus made of DNA and proteins during the. It's the key of life. Yeah. Chromosomes. It consists of DNA and various proteins that has a recipe for cellular components. Oh, yeah. And the chromosomes go through the mitosis stage too. Yeah. And then there's the nucleus. The nucleus. Nucleolus. Yes. Nucleus. So there's pink thingy. Yeah. So there's the nucleus, and then there's nuclear, and then there's the nucleolus. The nucleus produces ribosomes. The ribosomes. The ribosomes then go out of the nucleus and take position on the rough endoplasmic, and they are protein synthesis. But the little round nucleus consists of the RNA and proteins. It's the site of RNA synthesis. Yes, mRNA, RNA, and tRNA produced in the nucleosis. Then there's the DNA. The DNA is inside of the nucleus, and DNA contains all the information for cells to live, work, and reproduce. And DNA is kind of like, I don't know who we are, or it, kind of, yeah. Then there's the genes, and it's information in the DNA. So it looks kind of like those little ladders inside. So that's the genes. The transferring information of the characteristics to the different offspring. So like I have some genes of my mom and dad, and I get those they get those genes from their mom and dad, and so on. So, and then there's the genetic code. Yeah, the genetic code is where the DNA stores up the genetic information. So it's also part of the little ladders that twirl. And it has an alphabet of 64 triplets of codons. Yeah. Then there's the messenger RNA, and that carries that code for a protein from the nuclear DNA to a ribosome, so that it can do that thing. Yeah, and the messenger RNA is really important too, because it's kind of like you can't get the recipe out of the nucleus, the DNA can't come out of the nucleus, so the RNA gets into the nucleus, copies the message down, brings it out, makes the proteins, and then the proteins get into the cell, or out of the cell. Yeah. Then there's a tRNA, transfer RNA. It is found at the end of a amino acid, and it brings into contact the amino acid with the ribosome. Then there's the codon, and this is my favorite one. It is a 3-letter word that the ribosome can read from the DNA. So it's kind of like the recipe I just said from the DNA. So the codon is the reader of the DNA. It's in the ribosome.
Yeah, it's a sequence of 3 DNA. Or
yeah, it's a full sentence of 3-letter words is a gene. Yeah. So that is our explanation of the cell.